So our next recipient is an organization established in 2015, so very, very new. If Akri's field and weapon is the law, this next honoree uses the world online. It is the Israeli homegrown version of 38 Degrees or Change.org, an online community for social and political change. The name of that organization is Zazim, and it brings activists together in all kinds of areas, either social justice or combating racism, opposing the occupation or demanding government transparency, and using the tools of online organization to do it. Recent campaigns are focused, for example, against the administrative detention of Palestinians, which can affect close to 4,000 Palestinians and essentially amounts to imprisonment without trial, but also campaigning on what is often seen as the next front in conflict in the Middle East, namely water and water shortages, particularly deliberate deprivation of water in areas of the West Bank. But one area that particularly caught my eye, simply because it was such an extraordinary story when it happened, and I think it's going to be picked up on a bit in this film. You may have followed the story of Bezalel Smotrich, a right-wing member of the Jewish Home Party, a member of the Knesset, who made a remark after his wife gave birth, who said, "It's only natural my wife would not want to lie next to someone who had just given birth to a baby that might murder her baby in another 20 years. And Smotrich was demanding mixed, segregated maternity wards in Israeli hospitals. And it caused a big reaction in Israel and in some ways around the world. You'll see that Zazim got involved in that campaign. So why don't we let the film show you a little bit about their work. So here to pick up the award is the co-founder and chief executive of Zazim, Raluca Ganea, and to present it to her is Hannah Brady, who's here to represent New Israel Fund's new generation of supporters, New Gen. So Hannah Brady to give the award to Raluca Ganea.
The New Israel Fund is a very special organisation for many reasons. But for now, I'm just going to focus on one, the chance they offer young adults to get involved at the forefront of the charity through New Gen. From close gatherings with change makers at the heart of progressive Israel, to fellowships bringing us to engage intimately and honestly with Israel and Palestine, New Gen put the young Jewish community exactly where it should be in every community organisation, in the very centre of its conversations. Now, the people of New Gen are very special, and I say wholeheartedly to every New Gen person here that your energy, inventiveness, and of course at times your frustration at the world around us is so incredibly important, not just to the New Israel Fund, but to the wider Jewish community at large. You continue to engage and support change and will inspire the next cohort of New Gen activists to do the same. To my co-committee members, Emily and Deborah, thank you for all the work you have put in to make the New Gen present here tonight at the dinner so strong. And if anybody here from New Gen is interested in getting involved next year on the committee, please do let us know. But above all, the New Gen network reminds us that having a community is important. And in Zazim, we have a community of activists who can empower and inspire us to move forward and embrace our being a community of similar like-minded liberal Zionists. Whether we're in the narrow streets of Jerusalem or the packed rush-hour roads of London, together we are all looking to create positive change in Israeli society. On behalf of New Gen, we are proud and grateful to have Zazim honoured as our award winner and to have Raluca here tonight, inspiring us and demonstrating that justice and equality for all can come, and with us working together will. Raluca.
Thank you so much, Hannah and everyone else. And first, I want to apologize that in a semi-poetic incident, I've lost my voice, but I'll try to speak anyway. I was in the 11th grade in the autumn of 1995. For some reason or another, I couldn't attend the peace rally in Tel Aviv on that fateful November night that changed Israel history. I remember telling my mom, who was worried by the ugly wave of murderous incitement that was flooding the streets, that it's not a big deal to miss that rally, that people like us have their say in the elections day, that all that's happening now in the streets isn't important as actually voting. I was terribly and tragically wrong, of course, and Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin assassination, the result of a wild incitement orchestrated by senior politicians, some of them still with us today, literally changed the course of Israel's history and sent an entire movement into a deep coma. After the assassination, for the sake of national unity, we put aside the fundamental controversies that led to the murder and tried to move on. The murder initiated a slow process in which we adopted the extremist narrative that delegitimizes our entire camp, just as it delegitimized Rabin himself. Not everyone, of course. Brave individuals, brave organizations, supported by the New Israel Fund, never stopped striving for a better Israel. From grassroots work to advocacy, organizations like Ma'apach Tahrir and ACRI, who I'm proud to share this evening with, are inspiring all of us. But in the last 21 years, we gave up on the streets, just like I gave up on them that night when I missed the rally. As a public, we kept silent. As individual citizens, we've been intimidated into shutting ourselves into a progressive closet, while the mainstream discourse took a sharp turn to the right. Now it's time to come out. It's time to win the streets back. Only yesterday evening, we got a painful reminder to what happened to the Israel discourse in the last 21 years, when the chair of coalition said that the Rabin murder wasn't a political murder, it was just a murder. And the reaction of the people to that saying was inspiring. It was exactly what we strive to do at Zazim. Dozens of thousands of people came out to the Rabin Square yesterday night following that saying of Mr. Bitan. And as Zazim is my personal ultimate tikkun to the misconception I had as a teenager on how democracy really works and what needs to be done, now in less than 10 months of action, I see that Zazim also becomes the home of all the people who were there in the square last night, all of those who want to be part of a change. We're building a citizens' movement. Part of what makes Zazim unique is our online platform and tools. Not only that this is the mother tongue of the younger generation, but it's also an amazing tool that melts down geographical, demographic, socioeconomic barriers. The internet, at least in Israel, is available for practically everyone. It gives us the power to reach out to many people in very little time and to engage them into action, providing anyone with a smartphone with the opportunity to be part of a movement and do something that actually has an impact. And beyond our online nature, this movement has a special place for the younger generation, as Hannah said. Those who were teenagers or even young kids 21 years ago. This generation is part of a global one, which is more connected and more wired than ever. And it is thanks to the vote of this generation that Zazim is here tonight. And I know there is so much more that we can do together. It is this generation's time, our time, to take the lead and make change using all the new tools and strategies that are available to us. And we have seen changes. In under a year, we now have over 10,000 members, thousands of actions, and quite a few exciting wins. And this is only the beginning. Our people-powered, well-organized, and well-targeted public campaigns are building up into a critical mass that is actually making a difference. And we will keep growing and keep getting stronger until we will win. There is no other option. We are going to win this. We are honored. We are honored to receive the New Israel Human Rights Award. We see it as a vote of confidence of our closest partners, everyone here in this room, all of you. We are privileged to have the support of the New Israel Fund, whose more than anything is a partnership based on shared values and the hope for a better Israel for all of us. So thank you for the support and for allowing us to keep going. Thank you.
Well, congratulations to Raluca and Zazim, and thanks to Hannah and all the work the New Gen are doing. We're going to have a pause. We're going to hear from the third of our award recipients, another organization supported by New Israel Fund later. But for now, I think it's time for your main course. So, B'tei Avon.